we got a green line. Let's hope it stays green.
There you is.
Dun, 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 dun.
There's Albany Mountain Homestead.
Hey, Albany. We're a couple minutes early, hoping that this is going to work this time.
There's a chance to maybe iron some of the kinks out if it wants to be silly.
I know, right? Hey, Terry. Vickers. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you. Terry says we look great.
I saw that. I think
he needs a haircut.
I think it's the beard that does it.
I'm going to try and not make anybody
for me anyway.
seasick, but I'm going to try and keep this as steady as possible. It's a going. Have you all been watching the Hey Jason, have you all been watching the couples yoga? Well, as hard as it is to believe, we are going to do a response. Right?
Yes, we are. Got our own.
Look this way. Don't be rude. People are saying hello.
Hello. That's not much.
They're saying none.
It's going to be west of us.
Yes, the yoga is funny. I know. Just wait. You haven't seen anything yet. And if you haven't seen it, you got to go to Big Bear Homestead and watch Robin and Jason, Alderman Farms, and watch Tommy and Patty, and Breakaway Homestead, and you got to watch Patrick and Megan. Oh. So, no, they're saying that we're supposed to have rain. We're supposed to have 35-mile-an-hour winds with wind gusts of 50. Joy. But, no, we're supposed to be good. We are supposed to be. I know, weren't they hysterical? Hey, Anita! My nose itches. Why did it wait? No, why did it wait till we got on to start itching?
Because that's how it works. It doesn't itch until your hands are full or you're doing something.
I know. Oh, dang it! That line went from green to orange. Is everyone seeing us all right?
Daisy, get down.
Our internet has been really spotty since the hurricane. And I'm getting a little tired of it. I mean, at first I understood. And at second, I was like, they're working on it. But at third, come on, I'd like my internet, please. Okay, so we're going to give a quick update, and then we're going to try and talk about what we tried to talk about the last time we were on. So, mold has been sprayed for. Floors are...
I see you funny, but I don't have two pair of glasses.
I only have one on. Floors are still in the same state that they were. Contractors are...
Scarcer than hen's teeth. Well,
they are. They are.
That's one of the times where it's actually appropriate.
Contractors are scarcer than hen's teeth. They certainly are. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. everything outside has to be reworked. We've got some major overhauls that we have to do, and hoping that we have a pretty mild winter so that we can start early, because spring is going to be, must be that new yogurt. It's going, we're just going to have to redo everything. It's like starting, it's not like starting from scratch. We are starting from scratch.
Oh no, we have fences. We just got to redo them. You know, sometimes it's more aggravating than starting from scratch.
There's some parts of the fencing that's completely gone that we just have to it's just gone. We're gonna have to, but that's okay. It's okay, because now comes the fun part. I went out and I got notebooks today, and I get to redesign what I thought worked somewhere before, and now if it didn't, I have the opportunity to change it.
Hi,
Hey, Tanya. So, yes, it's a hassle because we have to work everything all over. Thank goodness we don't have to work everything all over at Julie's. They're still, we are going to have to move some livestock around because the ground just got so saturated, and we just have to move. But it's not everything. So I think we're going to be all right. And the majority of the livestock, with the exception of about 7 hens or 6 hens and a rooster, are over at Julie's. So we're going to be good. We're going to be able to rework everything, put things. I don't know. I'm excited. I know it's a lot of hard work, but I'm really excited about it too, because I got some really cool ideas, and hopefully they'll work out. Yes. You got anything to add?
Yeah, we have plenty of firewood. Of course, so does everybody else.
Yeah, plenty of firewood, and plenty of wood for fencing. So we're good that way too. Okay, so.
Can't wait to get the chainsaw lumber mill thing running.
Oh, my bag. This is the time I wish I could do this and the bag would come this way. But I was listening to Patrick from Breakaway Homestead a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like Black Friday. And he said something about seedsnow.com. So I went on there and I was able to pick up like 46 different kind of seeds. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited. I really am. Even though the floors aren't done and we don't have a contractor, the floors are livable. We're only mildly doing this. But it's really not bad.
Only a couple places that are...
And nothing soft. Nothing that we're going to fall through. So the mold is the big thing, and we got the mold taken care of, and we're really good with that. We'll get it done. I mean, I refuse to stress over this. We will get it done. Now, let's see. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm just like, I have always loved formal English gardens. I'm not going to have a formal English garden, but I'm going to have my take of a formal English herb garden. And that makes me extremely excited because I can't wait. I have been watching so much on YouTube to figure out how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to work it. And I'm just so excited because I love formal English gardens. I am not the type that could do that and keep it up like it's supposed to be, but I just think there's some of the most beautiful gardens in the world. And so I'm going to do my take on a formal English herb garden. So anyway,
Tanya said all you can do is take it one day at a time. And City Girl Country Heart said, no matter what you do, it will be beautiful.
Thank you. I hope so. I appreciate everything that you words of encouragement you guys are giving us, and I know we'll get it done. I refuse to stress over this. Now, the last time we tried to talk, and I see that I am shaking this. I am sorry if I'm making anybody seasick. There's a saying you might have heard. Now I can't remember what the saying is. Hey, Joel. All people make. Everybody
brings joy into a room.
Everybody brings joy into a room. Some when they walk in, and some when they go out. But everybody brings joy to a room. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Oh no, I was talking. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having. What did we say? We're not having butterflies chasing squirrels anymore. What
Penguins chasing squirrels.
Penguins
or butterflies.
Penguins. Hybrid. Oh.
And Jason said, "Oh boy, here we go."
So.
Yeah, there's a video of a penguin running around chasing a butterfly and chasing after it and running and running and
running. I know. But I like my squirrels. So anyway, he bought me two little ceramic squirrels. So, do I dare ask which one I am? All I can say is chomp chomp.
Right? Don't look at me. Look at this.
I'm sorry.
Talk to the people.
It's been a long time, and I've got so much to say, and I don't know how to say it or what to say. But anyway, everybody brings joy to a room. Some when they enter, some when they leave. So that's the gist of the conversation this evening. Besides butterflies, squirrels, penguins, seeds, floors, and fencing.
Contractors, hens, teeth.
Yeah. So anyway, what type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the person that when you walk into a room, everybody lights up and are so happy that you're there? Or do you want to be the person that when you leave the room, everybody goes, I am so glad that is over. That's a mess that I didn't want to mess with. I'm repeating myself, but that's okay. So you have a choice. You have a choice. And even more so now, since the storm, I am really focusing on we have a choice. Because every day we wake up, and Julie can tell you, there's just so much. And it's funny. Julie and I had to run to town earlier today, and we were talking about it. Yes?
I don't know if you know, but I lost Eddie last month, so we won't be playing the word game with you anymore.
Tanya, I did not know. I'm so sorry. Oh, Tanya, I'm so sorry. Oh. Now I feel really bad. Okay. I do feel bad, Tanya, and I am terribly sorry.
You and Julie went to town.
Julie and I went to town today, and we were talking about it, and we were talking about how stressful things are here. And and he's much better off than any of us, Tanya. There are so many buildings with tarps, so many homes with tarps, actual holes. You can look through the windows and see holes. Fences down, garages down, trees down, and it's a work in progress. And everybody is trying their hardest. I have never seen a community work so hard at not being angry, because everybody's in the same boat. I mean, you either have damage or you know somebody who has damage. There's nobody here that doesn't know somebody that has damage. And there was a housing crisis here because there were apartment complexes that the entire complexes had to be evacuated, and people had...
They're condemned.
They're condemned. We live in a county that has 60,000 people, and that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's rural. And so either you lived in an apartment or you lived in your home, and there just wasn't a lot of excess housing. I mean, there's houses that go on the market, of course, but there's not a lot.
And there's not a lot of hotel rooms.
Oh, I'm buffering?
It just started. Just keep going. It'll catch up in a second.
Okay. Can anybody see me yet?
Okay, Hex-Rex found a mouse in my shoe. What do? Wash your toes more often so there's no stink. I don't know.
I would say don't put your foot in the shoe.
Throw the shoe in the yard, the mouse will run away.
Okay, so... No, it wasn't. I don't think it was yours because it was.
I saw it too.
It buffered here too. So anyway, there was and is a housing crisis of sorts. Now, luckily, this is a small community, and there are a lot of people that have family here. You know, generations. So, hey, Dean. So, what we decided to do was we made a conscious effort because there's so much stress, because there's so much going on around in everybody's lives, that even when we are so frustrated that you can't see straight, trying our best not to take it out on anybody else. And I have got to say that I fell short of that. I'm not perfect. I did fuss at somebody not too long ago and then turned around and apologized. I actually just came out and said, I am so sorry. It is not your fault that what I needed was not here in the time that it was told to me it would be here. And I apologized, and then I started asking the woman if she was doing all right, how she did through the storm, is she getting the help that she needs, and tried to step back out of the way I was thinking to a more, how can I help you? And I am terribly sorry that I let my frustration get to me, that I took it out on you. Because it's easier to rant to random people, but it's not fair. Even if it's on the internet, it's just not fair, because I know the stress that I'm going through, but I don't know the stress that everybody else is going through. And my rant could be just the thing that tips somebody over to where they just can't take anymore. Or they just, if YouTube is the only thing that they have so that they can talk to people, or feel a community, you don't want to, you just don't want to do that to somebody. At least I don't. So I will remind everybody that this is a family-friendly channel, and I will give one time out, and then I will ban you. Because we have families that sit down and watch this with children, and I will not tolerate it. So I'm not going to I'm just not going to add to somebody else's stress. This is a choice. This is a choice each of us can make every day. Will we be the people that bring joy when we walk into a room, or will we be the person that brings joy when we leave the room? I know I went a long way around that, but really that's what we need to each decide for ourselves. I mean, life is hard, and life is hard for all of us. But it's not so hard that we have to forget our own humanity. Right?
Yeah, be kind. It doesn't cost you anything to smile at somebody and say, be pleasant. There's no value 99% of the time in being ugly towards somebody or being ill about something, because most of the time whatever's going on is not that person's decision or choice to make things the way they are.
Exactly.
If you're in a store and the cashier says, I'm sorry, we can't do that, that's because that's the policy. They didn't write it. If you want to work your way up to the management that has the authority to change it or set the policy and then vent where it's appropriate, then perhaps that will do something. But you still catch more flies with honey than vinegar. So, it's not rarely of any particular benefit.
So the thing is, choose for yourself. Are you going to be the person that brings joy when you walk into a room? Are you going to be the person that brings joy when you leave the room? And especially this time of year, put the hurricane aside. I started to tell you, Julie and I were talking about how stressed it was. How stressed it was here for us. But what about the people in the panhandle of Florida? Can you imagine? It's just amazing that everything's gone. There's some, I don't care how much of a minimalist you are. Everybody has something that keeps them grounded. And I can't imagine losing. I just can't imagine what life is not to have that one thing that keeps you grounded. Oh, it's okay, Tanya. Better safe than sorry. I appreciate it. So, choose. And I hope that you choose to bring the joy to the room. So I just,
Well, the thing
well,
is, you can't control what happens in your life. Some things come to you for you to deal with. The only thing you can control is how you respond to
yeah,
them. Thomas Edison, 999 ways not to make a light bulb. He didn't figure that he failed. He just found out 999 ways that didn't work. And you've got to look at things in a positive light. Do the best you can with what you got. If you choose to build from things and use it as a learning experience and work up, that's the outlook. That's the way you're going to approach it. You can choose to be miserable.
yeah.
But it's it's on you.
Especially this time of year, as I started to say before. It's a stressful time of the year anyway. It's just, what does it accomplish? Hey, Karina, what does it accomplish? um, to get angry and and to unleash on somebody. Yeah, you may feel better. Hey, sub. Oh, I'm sorry you got a migraine. It may feel better at that moment to unleash on somebody, but I don't know about the rest of you. When I unleash really because I'm mad, I feel guilty for like a long time.
Yeah.
I just, and so how good could you possibly feel? I just think that it's better off to the other day, Julie and I had to run and go to the gas company. We don't have natural gas here like a lot of people. Hey, NT Auto Man, good to see you. We are doing well, thank you. We had to go to a propane gas company, and it's not the one that I normally deal with, but it is the one that had what we needed at the time. So we went in there, and the two women behind the counter were their butterflies were chasing squirrels that were chasing penguins that were chasing reindeer. Those two women had the radios going, and I mean to the trucks radio, phones ringing, people at the door. And the one woman looked at us and said, I know I have what you want, but it's going to take me a little while. And Julie and I sat down and said, that's fine. We walked in here. We didn't call first. We just sat and we waited. We were in no hurry to get anywhere. We were not. Yeah, we could have got aggravated and said, well, we're standing here. You ought to take care of us first. But she couldn't. They had a nice, comfortable bench. It was warm inside the building. Why get upset? And you know, by sitting there and letting them finish what they were doing with the radio calls and phone calls and other people walking in saying, I need this now. When they got a moment and they helped us, they went far above and beyond what they needed to do because they had to sell us apart. We had a chance to talk to both of them, to find out how hectic their day was. The one woman said her day started with somebody screaming at her at 8 o'clock in the morning. Who wants to start their day that way? On either side, being screamed at or screaming. And my voice is going, so you talk.
Well, I've been in a position where it was my job to scream at people at 8 o'clock in the morning. Actually, by 8 o'clock in the morning, I was usually done screaming and sitting back drinking coffee. But that's a
Okay, but
different story.
yeah.
That's not the customer relations business. That's in the motivational. Why are you still breathing my air basis? You should be someplace else sucking up oxygen.
He was military. Let's not think people.
Yeah, they should go someplace else.
Stop.
Anyway,
Okay.
the point being, choose the way you react to things and put a positive approach on things. Nobody thinks going to the emergency room is a good time or fun. And quite often, if you're at the emergency room, you see people who are upset, they're angry, they're hurting, they're not doing well, and they're generally miserable, and they let everybody know they are. Well, I kind of take a different approach to it. Let's face it. If I'm at the emergency room, it's usually because I did something stupid.
Like knocked yourself out with a fence post.
Well, hey, that was an
Pounder.
accident. Well, they're usually all accidents. I don't do them on purpose, but
Or when he was harvesting a goat, slit the back of his hand.
Or the chicken that flew up and hit me in the face.
And you had a bird strike. There is one group at the ER that they always say, "We're so sorry that you're here again. But we're so glad because you have the most interesting stories when you come in."
Well, the point being, when I go into the emergency room, because, I mean, let's face it, a chicken gashing my nose and hurting my eye to where, they thought I had an injury to the tear duct. So anyway, they sat there and they did the drops in it and fluorescent and all. I could have been grumpy and cranky and impatient. Not their fault I'm an idiot. So.
Yes, but you're my idiot.
So I try and be as pleasant to the people as I can. Besides, they're the ones with sharp, pokey things, and they get to decide which one of these salves that they put on my cuts and things, and there's the ones that hurt more or the ones that hurt less. Some of them, it's like they poured napalm on you and threw a match in it, and if you really irritate them, those are going to be the ones they use. So I figure it's in my own self-interest to be pleasant and be polite. Anyway, there's an old proverb that there inside each of us live two wolves, an evil wolf and a good wolf. Well, then, so the question is, which one wins? Well, the answer to that is the one that you feed. When you are taking a reaction to whatever event, try and take a moment and think. Just pause and react in a positive vein. Yeah. So Jason gets it, the one you feed.
So
Julie said she takes after me.
She does.
Yeah, well.
And driving. Oh, she does. And parking. Oh. Neither one of them can park straight to save their lives.
I'm between the lines. I don't care. You want to come around with a protractor and tell me how many degrees off plumb I am? If you want to come out there and measure, go right ahead.
I think they realize you're off plumb.
In my parking, okay?
But anyway, okay. So back to...
Look at Julie said,
what?
He taught me, lol. Why are you surprised? She stays off the sidewalks mostly.
Yeah.
I did teach her that much.
Yeah, because that was kind of iffy. Because we lived in Italy, and in a particular part of Italy that they didn't necessarily stay off the sidewalks while driving or parking or
pretty much whatever.
Yeah.
It's firm. It's an additional part of the road surface. Let's not talk about parking, not today. Well, I take it you made it home without a felony, Jason.
So, not to be preachy, we're just not trying to be preachy. We're just trying to tell you how we're trying to react, especially since the storm. There's a lot to be done. It's going to take time, and it's nobody's fault. absolutely nobody's fault. Getting angry is not going to get anything done any faster than what it's getting done now. And if you get angry with the wrong people, it could actually take longer. So,
Yeah,
you
there
know
are
what?
those of us who don't react well to someone venting their spleen.
So the thing is, if you are...
Hello, Food Forest.
Hey, Food Forest! If you are of the persuasion that celebrates Christmas, hey, Teresa! Oh, we got a little while to go, honey. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. If you are of the persuasion that observes Christmas, there are two words that you have to remember. Joyful and peace. This is the time to have a joyful heart and peace in the land. Well, you can't control how other people react, but you can control how you react to other people. And there you go.
And you know, if somebody's trying to get a rise out of you, and you just smile and nod and ignore it and let it roll off your back like water off a duck, that makes them even more upset. And sometimes it's a game to see just how calm you can respect. Oh, Teresa, looks like we're probably going to be east of the snow line. We're just going to get rain and wind.
Peace and joy. Peace and joy. Peace and joy.
I think there's oils for that.
Peace and joy. Peace and joy. Peace and joy. So,
Love and joy come to you.
and hear your whistle too. Okay. So, thank you, Teresa.
Anita said, the more joyful you can be, the more peaceful your season or life will be, or will try to be.
See, in normal years, when we don't have hurricanes that affect our lives to this point, I refuse to go out to any store from Thanksgiving until New Year's. I prepare January 2nd through whatever Wednesday is before Thanksgiving, well, self-centered or whatever you may want to call it, but I try to have peace and joy in my life during the Christmas season. And
going out and dealing with people lets them steal your joy.
Yes, that's it. I look at it as a way not to allow anyone to steal my joy, or for me to allow them to steal my joy, because nobody can really steal your joy unless you let them. But anyway, Texas flooded in the country. I mean, look at the hurricanes that hit the East Coast and the Gulf Coast, and the fires that hit California, and the flooding that hits Texas, and tornadoes that hit in anywhere in the middle of the country.
And earthquakes in Alaska.
Earthquakes in Alaska. There is a lot going on right now. And I don't care what part of the country you're in, you're feeling something.
That's the question is, like, who says we don't need God in our nation anymore? I mean, there's enough going on. It makes you wonder, we chased him out, or trying to real hard.
So, that's another point. No one can steal your joy. I know it. So, by not reacting in the way that 99.9% of us would love to react when somebody is mean and ugly to us, you are able to keep your joy, you are able to walk away, you are able to move on. And I find in making this change in my life, I have less headaches. I have less aches and pains. Now, don't get me wrong. I have fibromyalgia. I have plenty of aches and pains. But I don't have as severe because I am not allowing others to stress me out of my joy. My pain threshold or my pain levels are nowhere near what they are when I get angry.
Getting started. We're doing all right. Hope you are.
We are. So, done with the lecture, and I really don't mean this to be a lecture. I hope you all don't take it as that. It's just some self-examination that I'm verbalizing to you. Hi, Christy. So how has everyone else been? We have not had the opportunity to talk.
Just tongue-tied. Make her sit on her hands. Joy. I'm just defining it. Your joy comes from talking with your hands.
So anyway, how is everyone doing?
She must have some Italian in her.
I don't know.
Well, grew up around a lot.
Yeah. I grew up in a very Italian ethnic area. So
I know. I noticed that.
So how's everybody doing? If you whatever season, because we're in Hanukkah right now, we got to share the first night of Hanukkah with some friends.
Mm-hmm.
I made latkes for the very first time, and they were good. I was so afraid. I know nothing about latkes, but I made them, and they were good. I followed her recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Her recipe was basically a list of ingredients, but I did it, and I made latkes. And I remembered to bring the sour cream and the applesauce.
And we used the electric thingy to make the work less.
Yeah, but potatoes aren't hard to grate because they're basically water, so they're not hard to grate.
Oh, yummy. And I did my part. I ate till I couldn't move. Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Exactly.
I have a role. I get curious injuries to take to the emergency room. I whack myself in the head with things every now and then, and I eat to make sure that all the food is good.
Now, Julie makes her brisket different than I do. My favorite way to make a brisket is to put it on like at 11 o'clock at night, and I do a cheat. I take onion soup mix, dry onion soup mix, and sprinkle it on top. And then I take a can of cranberry sauce and cut it up and sprinkle it on. And then I take a little beef broth and put it in the bottom so it doesn't stick until it starts making its own juices. And I let it cook from anywhere from 12 to 15 hours. That's why it's got to go on at 11 o'clock at night. I love that. It's fall apart tender, and it has so much flavor.
Yeah, Anita, somebody's got the quality control role, and I'm willing to take one for the team to do that. You know, it's like keeping y'all safe. I'm just that kind of a guy.
You are. One good thing, I got 30 pounds. Oh, poor Klein.
That's a good deal.
Very good deal. So, I was going there with some. I will tell you, depending on the size of the brisket, sometimes you need to add a little bit more onion soup than one envelope, and maybe more than one can. The most I've ever added was 2 cans of the whole cranberry. No. The jelly. The jelly cranberry. I'm going to tell you, I absolutely love that. Julie makes her brisket a little bit different, and that's fine because that's what her family likes. But, oh, I love that. I love that brisket. And it's so easy. I mean, you basically sprinkle, scatter, pour a little liquid, and it's dinner 15 hours later.
They're talking about the deal on the pork loin.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of things that we are doing. I am really excited about moving things around because it just seems like once you have them in place, it may work better somewhere else. Okay, Daisy, that's enough. It may work someplace better, but you've already got it there. Why move it?
Yeah, there's a certain level of inertia to rearranging things. And yeah, it might be a little easier, but it's not worth the effort to change it. Well, if you got to change it anyway, then you fine tune and refine.
And I am so looking forward to this. I'm really excited. It's like rearranging your house, but no one's going to complain.
I don't complain as long as you do it. The problem is I usually wind up roped into helping lift stuff.
Oh, that's because you're my big, strong, handsome husband.
Strong back, weak mind, get suckered in.
I love you.
I love you too.
So
that's
anyway,
why I do it.
We did have a 40th anniversary back in October. Yep. Mm-hmm. And what else? What else is going on?
We almost forgot with all the chaos going on.
The youngest grandson turned 2 last week. Dope. And we call him the cutest little dictator. Okay, you guys stop moving. Stop moving. Because you're going to make people seasick. So,
I'm warming up to talk. I got to get my hand on it.
Oh, let's see. I've been doing a lot of crocheting.
The Ninja will be in the Nutcracker next weekend.
Oh, yeah. The Ninjas are second to the youngest male grandson. If you ask him, he'll tell you he's got skills. He's going to be in the Nutcracker next week. Pizza and green juice.
Good night, Food Forest.
Good night, Food Forest.
Thanks for stopping in.
Amen. So, yeah. Next weekend, the Ninja is going to be... We have our granddaughter's nickname. Do you?
No.
So anyway, I got brave one today.
Green onions and dried beef. Teresa, you mix the dried beef and green onions in
with the cheese.
With cream cheese. That's what I'm asking. What kind of cheese? Cream cheese?
I would think so.
That's what I thought, but I'm just asking.
So anyway.
Yeah, I love when there's bad weather. Everybody goes out and buys bread and milk and eggs. What am I going to do? Have French toast when the power's up?
I know, right? Now, see, I didn't put rosemary in the latkes. She didn't tell me to do that. She told me onion, potato, salt and pepper, a little egg to help bind it, scramble up and, whisk up an egg, and a little bit of flour so that it all sticks together. And then I fried them. Soaked bread in milk is just nasty. That's why you have to add vanilla to it. And cinnamon.
Get down. Daisy, get down.
So, anyway. Okay, Miss Daisy needs to go outside. And so does Miss Princess. Miss Daisy, Miss Princess, they both need to go outside. egg, flour, onion, and my onion was really grated fine. Potatoes, salt, and pepper. That's all I did. But I'm gonna have to try it with rosemary next. I was just so happy that they didn't fall apart when I put them in the oil, or when I went to flip them, they flipped real nice. And but the idea of rosemary really sounds good, because I like. Oh, my rosemary bushes are gone. Julie laughs, and if she's still here, she'll tell you. I take care of all my plants. I talk to them. I go out there and just have nice conversation with my plants, except for my rosemary. I have found years ago, and people are going to laugh, and you can't fuss over rosemary. I don't care what people say. At least I can't fuss over rosemary. I put it in the ground, I look at it, I say, live or die, it's up to you, and I walk away. I water it occasionally, and it grows. Okay. See, Julie says they're huge. My mother-in-law can take a stick that she found and plant it, and a tree will grow. Can't grow rosemary. And Julie was laughing and said, Grandma, you gotta do it like Mom does. Christy, your rosemary likes your neglect. Yeah, see? Rosemary, it's like the cat of herbs, okay? You have to ignore it. You just have to ignore it. So, anyway, so that's all that we do with the rosemary. No, Steve's outside with the dogs. So, anyway, well, we're just about done. And he's outside with the dogs. And Big Bear Homestead is coming on in a couple of minutes. So, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all for coming. I'm so glad the internet stayed up today so that we could talk. And we will try this again real soon. Thanks for coming by.